Hi, hello, welcome to the Daily Tarot Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess of Losi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon in to Virgo. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. You belong, so welcome home. Again, this is the Daily Tarot Buffet. When there is a planet or any type of energy transiting Virgo, especially during Cancer season, that's a third house event. So the event is a lunation, meaning a lunar event. What that means is there's going to be increased insight and intuition into the third house. So that's the network that we have, the community can even be, you know, siblings or cousins, usually younger. It's the one that we're given, less so the one that we kind of take on. So it's less so of choice and more by origin, orientation. So it's also the intellect, reasoning, communication. It's also our skills, our craft, our talents, our abilities, sometimes even our gifts. And then it's going to happen according to Virgo. So there's going to be some refinement going on. Certain things are going to get repelled or be deemed as not in alignment, essentially. That's really what we're going to have coming to us over the next couple few days. We're going to begin to see and feel and understand that certain things are not in alignment. It is going to be a little bit more discerning. I'll say that. It's going to be a little bit more defined or technical in terms of what works, what doesn't work, what we like, what we don't like, what we're willing to deal with, what we're not willing to deal with, so on and so forth. We're going to go ahead and lay 4 cards. That'll be the core central energy as we gather here today for the Daily Tarot Buffet. More cards will come out. Those will be to clarify or modify the meanings that we're covering right now. So we're going to impose the guidance. That's the baseline reading from This Might Hurt Tarot. That's by Isabella Rotman. She's over at Liminal 11 Publishing. We'll also be using the minor arcana from Cosmic Coven Tarot to deliberate the findings and clarify any type of pairing energy. Those are like the multiples or the triples or the sets of other cards. Lastly, we'll be using the Daily Oracle by Vita Sibilla to clarify and deliberate the findings around any type of correlative or corresponding energy. That's by Los Carabello. Again, if anything resonates deeply with you, you can go ahead and smash that like button. There's some information in the show notes. Sometimes it's the about section or the description box. Also, a little bit of housekeeping. If the reading is a little bit too long, a little bit too slow, you can increase the playback speed. It will not change what the timing or the length of the video says, but since it's playing faster, you will or you can decrease the length of the video up to 1/2. There's also a link in the show notes somewhere between the Hamsa hands. Often, not always, but there's usually a link to a summary, which can be helpful, beneficial. Let us begin. We're going to have the Two of Cups here, Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Okay, again. Two of Cups, Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Two of Cups, Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. So already we have a triple two. That's multiple moving parts usually. Oftentimes it can be that there's some type of compact, okay? It can be that there's a bartering going on, especially with the Two of Pentacles present. The Two of Cups is about being on the same page. It's usually a union. It can either be soulmate union or a bond or closeness somebody has access to. Us. Two of Wands is a choice. Think of it as different from the Two of Swords, which is a decision. One cuts something out where you have to leave it behind and can't really revisit it as easily. The Two of Wands is you could change midstream. It's more about dominion, weighing up options, franchise purchase, the road opening up, being at a crossroads. All of these twos mean that there is some type of crossroads here. But the Two of Pentacles is the season time you can see in the background of the card. But also, this is intercession. So it's navigating, negotiating, or remaining present and participating, or it's some type of administration or attending to a situation. With this Queen of Wands here, this is somebody that needs affection, adoration, appreciation, attention, acknowledgement. She needs to be the bigger, brighter, and better. Now, I'm saying she as in an energy where we host motivation, we host drive, desires, passions, motivations. It could be male or female, assigned or identified. But the difference between the king and the queen is one's receptive, one's implementing. So one is active and the other is receptive, okay? So this is somebody that has needs versus the king wants. Needs wants, needs queen wants, drive, desires, passions, motivations. It also could be needing to defend one's position versus take massive action like we see in the king. So Queen of Wands, Two of Wands, that's needing options, needing an open road, needing franchise purchase, autonomy even. And yeah, we're going to be committing to doing something recurring. I'm hearing the word recursive feedback loop, and my right hand is itching, which means we're planning on giving and putting some energy out there. We can't even be a healer in some kind of way, usually Reiki energy of some kind of way. 501, Seven of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Magician. So the Five of Wands, especially with the Queen of Wands, is needing to defend, needing to compete, needing to contest. Typically, the Five of Wands would be something around a karmic lesson here. I'm just going to jump to the point here. With the Seven of Swords, there might be some kind of cunning strategy tactic that's needed. And something happened a week ago where some kind of opportunity came out. We're going to need to handle up on something, or we're going to fall behind, or we're going to get on the bad end of the cycle, or there's going to be definitely a lesson to learn. Okay, 10 of Pentacles, Chariot, Two of Swords, Lovers. So this is saying here that over the next few weeks, about a fortnight, onwards towards the next new moon. We just had a new moon in Cancer. Onwards towards the next new moon in Leo, there's going to be a shift, a change in love or union, communion, partnership. Because we have soulmate union here with the Two of Cups and the Lovers card here. So that's soulmate union. It's confirmed. Both of the cards confirm. And we have the final two of Swords, which in this context with the other twos, it means that there's some type of truce here. The word would be treaty, and I know it's confusing for the students here if you come to the mission school, because the kings and the twos can have some of the similar meanings. Because remember, the kings rule 2, 6, 10. It's the Arc de Tricon. So a set of kings means accords. a set, which is basically treaty, but that's what the set of twos mean. When you have all four twos, that means treaty. Ultimately, here it means peacekeeping agreement because there's some type of partnership going that might be amongst multiple parties, but I don't see that yet because we don't have any threes present. Okay, but this is saying that over the next fortnight or so, onwards towards the next new moon, which is in Leo, there's going to be moving forward, moving through, getting into, over, or out of something, which is mainly going to be figuring out what we need to do, using discernment to know that we are entering into the right union, communion, partnership, lovers card, union, communion, partnership, confirmed by the Two of Cups here. So we have the Star card, Wheel of Fortune, that's timeline restoration. Also, Chariot with the Lovers card is making moves in love. We have another 7 here, which is the Cups, set at the Copa here. And then we have the Judgment card. So we have prophecy with the Wheel of Fortune and the Judgment. We have timeline restoration with the Star card and the Wheel of Fortune. We have normally with the 7 of Cups. I would say something's fishy-wishy, something's facade, something's kind of, mirage, glamour, rokukurakaka. Perhaps there's an altar. I would like that. Well, the Two of Cups means we're clear on a decision to make. Something's allowed us to kind of reach into the depths of our soul or whittle through our intuition and figure out whatever we need in order to stand on business. And then it's confirmed here with the Death card and the High Priestess. Normally that would mean that our intuition was wonky, not working. But since the 7 of Cups is here, it literally means we're purging any type of illusion, any type of mimicry, any type of spiritual parasite, confirmed again by the Queen of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. Any type of energy here that doesn't belong to God and bound down to the ground. I love to say that word, bound down to the ground. I say that because this 5 of Pentacles with the 7 of Cups and the Death card makes all those cards not so bad individually. I do not like the 7 of Cups in and of itself. I do not like the 5. I thought that was the 5 of Pentacles. I do not like the 5 of Pentacles in and of itself. I do not like the 5 of Swords in and of itself. But the way these are going on, it's saying that, okay, we did have to kind of come to the table, make a couple few changes, learn a couple few things. King of Wands, 5 of Wands. We need to get about the kitchen, learn that karmic lesson. There's too many cooks up in the kitchen. There's too many ideas. There might be some jealousy. There might be some tension. There might be some contestation, maybe competition. Somebody has a little bit of an ego, something of that nature. But who don't matter, don't care. Because the third house is when things come to us that we need to deal with. Things come to us for us to kind of give a response, a reaction. Things come to us kind of like latent, where we need to manifest it, make it something, call it a name, give it a label, do something about it. And that's just what's up, because it requires skill or tactics or strategies or something that requires our craft, our skill, our acumen. And typically it is something that we're going to necessarily need to either use the mind for, not thoughts. It will be carried, transmuted through intellect, reason, and communication. But again, remember that we're dealing with a Virgo moon right now, so it's filtered through the guise of Virgo, which is the refinement, technicalities, or technical skill, essentially. And it is going to be detail oriented, and it can even come off as judgmental. We're not actually making judgments, though, or let me say it differently. We're not making moral judgments here. Okay. A moral judgment is to say you are bad, you are good, or that is wrong, or whatever, versus saying, this is going on, or I'm experiencing this, or hey, I'm witnessing this, or this is what it's giving, this is the impression I'm left with, and it doesn't work for me. I don't know if that's in alignment with what my needs are. Hey, I have these standards and boundaries, and they're not being satisfied. That's more of a value assessment, a value judgment versus you're wrong, that's bad, you're this, you're that, like a label. Okay. Now, again, let's not be confused because we have bad rap that Virgo gets, sometimes even Libra, where we think judgy McJudgerson. And the thing that we're not understanding is Libra's job is to balance the scales to what we would also call judge. But a preponderance of order makes harmony. A preponderance of harmony makes beauty. A preponderance of beauty is the law. It basically peace. So that's what Libra's job is. Virgo's job is to discern. Neti neti, that's the high priestess. 12th house, 6th house, that's the high priestess axis, okay? And that's what we see in Virgo energy. It's not to impose or apply a judgment. That's a misnomer, a misperception. It's actually to find discernment here, not even to deliberate and to critique or to scrutinize, but it is to have discernment. This is true, this is valid, this is enough information. These are all the details that I need in order to arrive at a decision, or even said differently, to begin my decision making criteria or to begin my process of making a decision. That's called deliberation. I have all the details I need, I have all the facts that I need, or no, there's a little bit more ways to go. Also, Virgo, and I'm saying Virgo not because it's Virgo season, but we have a transiting moon in Virgo, and all of these things happening in the third house or according to the filter of Virgo. So our intellect, reason, communication, our skills, craft, talents, abilities, that's all what we're using, but we're filtering it through the guise of Virgo, discernment, technical skill, depth, getting deep, beyond superficial surface level, going deep. Okay. So what we have here is this King of Wands, which is taking massive action, or somebody that has mastered their drives, desires, passions, motivations. There's a lot of changes that we're making. We have a double five back to back, and in this reading, we have a triple five. In this reading, we have a pair of sevens. In this reading, we have all four twos. That's called a set of twos. In this reading, we also have a pair of queens. We're taking massive action in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. We have a vision. Okay. It's going to require that we make some changes because there's a cycle that we were made aware of kind of on the front end, and we're starting to move out of alignment with this cycle. There's going to be either a blind spot that we're hitting or a dead zone that we're hitting, and it may be because of dereliction, a lack of skillfulness, laziness, wanton abandonment of duties, obligations. That's dereliction. Honestly, with the Five of Swords, it can just mean procrastination. Dereliction, though. I'm hearing that word dereliction because we were made aware, we were informed of something, judgment card. We were told how things go, what the timeline looks like. Wheel of Fortune, judgment card, magician. And I think we're kind of waxing philosophically, Queen of Wands. We're in our kind of planning stage, vision play phase. But whenever I see the Five of Pentacles, it means there's some kind of duty, whether we need to reach our hand out and ask, whether we need to shift our mind, our thinking, and figure or decide or discern that there is something that we can do about it. All of those lessons happen in the Five of Pentacles. There's also, with the Five of Wands, is to walk away from the thing that is the struggle. Don't necessarily throw your hat in the ring or surrender. It's just like, you're not a salmon, you don't need to swim uphill. With the Seven of Cups, there's the lesson there that, hey, the things that were being offered or the way things are being presented, it might not be like that. We might need to go away and change the script. If we get a contract, we might need to add a clause. If somebody gives us an offer, an opportunity, we need to ask a few qualified questions. We need to do what's called examine and investigate. And then with the Seven of Swords, it does suggest that there can be some type of manipulation. So when we have a pair of sevens, that's an alert that Seven of Cups, there's a facade, there's an illusion, there's a glamour, there's a gaslighting. Somebody may be unhealed, unawakened. A little bit, a lot bit, I'll say, less so with the Death card here. It actually means purging energies, dispelling illusion, the fog lifting, the clouds, the sky can clear up, especially with the Star card. It might be not the light of day. It might not be illumination, enlightenment, all of that stuff, but we still have a clear view with the star. Things are illuminated in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. We're looking right now at this pair of sevens. There's a union here. It could be a union with the divine. If that's the case, there's some type of ordained pulpit, platform, throne to sit on. If it's a union in spirit, it's basically that we were ordained to be in a connection right now. There's some discernment here. There might be some estrangement because somebody is needing to contain a situation. And I think finally somebody, Knight of Swords, wants to take massive action. It also could mean that we do need to move strategically here. Seven of Swords with the Knight of Swords. I'm getting that as well. This King of Wands comes through some challenges here. This King of Wands has all this big, bright, bold vision and drive, desires, passions, motivations, and all this loving with this Queen of Cups, this tender heart, this pure crystalline vessel that is unconditional with love and bountiful with tolerance. However, we run into a double five in a reading of a triple five, which means conflict, conundrums, crossing. It also means depletion, debilitation, decline, destabilization. Double five can mean that. Why don't we go ahead and identify a double five? Yeah, Five of Wands. So that's crossings, conundrums, competition, contestation. It's compounding, cascading cacophonies of karma. It also means that something's petty, bottom of the barrel, basic, ordinary. Yeah, because there's some stinking thinking, the Five of Pentacles here. It could also mean that, again, there's a decline, something is stabilized, or there is some changes to make. If it's with a person, we might need to abandon somebody, leave them out in the cold, permit no further clearance or passage or advancement down the path together. We might need to go our separate ways, or they might need to yoke up, catch up, provide more, carry their weight. They might need to also voice or clarify what their needs and intentions are. They might need to be precise on their intentions. They might need to offer something up that's cogent, salient, germane, substantive to the matter at hand, which would also suggest that we get on the same page. Right now, there's a Two of Swords here, which means we're of an opposing mind. We're not on the same page. One person here might be saying no, even. And that's the thing here. If we have all four of the twos, we do need to get on the same page, Two of Cups, but at some point or another, we're on a separate page here. The separate page is the other side. This line here is the other person, the other energy. If there is said another person, we call that the second party. So these queens are calling. A pair of queens usually is competition. So we have a double seven. So again, another alert. Somebody's planted seeds here, seven of pentacles. Now it can be, I'm just going to say right quickly, agendas, motives, strategy, tactics, especially with the Seven of Swords present. But it's actually saying that somebody's trying to hold their ground, or they might be getting a little bit anxious because they might feel like they put, okay, now we have a triple seven, Seven of Cups. They might be under the impression, under the illusion, really, Seven of Cups, that they put in all this work and that they should be reaping Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles from the work that they put in, Seven of Pentacles, that they planted them seeds, they should be reaped at some time. They sowed their seeds, they should be reaping them at some kind of time, shape, form, or another. But the situation is they're chosen already, it is theirs, but they need to actually speak to what their wish is. They might have it in some illusionary success, Nine of Cups in reverse, until it is spoken out loud. It might only reside up in their mind And that's what's up, because in order for that love to come through, pull through, it's going to have to expand swiftly. In order for that cup to be offered, that heart to open, they might need to speak to that effect. That might be why the Five of Pentacles is coming openly and often. It's because sometimes with the Five of Pentacles, you just need to reach your hand out and ask. Hey, I'm in a situation, I feel this kind of way, or I'm experiencing through a hardship. Could you help me? Or, hey, this is what I need from you. Are you willing? Hey, this is what's up. I just need to let you know. Yeah, and see, King of Pentacles. Then all of a sudden, we're manifesting. King of Pentacles is not the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, and then that's the truth, whatever I said. Six of Swords, Ace of Swords. That's clearance, passage, moving into calmer emotional waters. Because the truth, claro, clarity. Okay. And it took a long time, so that might be a delayed arrival. It might be the blinding flash of the obvious, but it took somebody a moment, a mid moment to figure that out, because the King of Cups as well. That is, guess what? That is, it's a delayed arrival. That's the King of Pentacles. I mean, Knight of Pentacles, the delayed arrival. So this is saying that there's going to be some type of revelation. Somebody's going to take a stand in love here. Revelation, judgment. Take a stand in love, judgment with the Lover's card. That's standing up for love. Also, with the Magician and the Judgment card, that's a very powerful skill set. Strong communication, powerful communication. But that energy is on our side. So we might need to be the ones to say, hey, what's up? This is what's up. This is where I'm at. This is what's going on. Where are you at with things? Let me check on you for a minute. Let me holler at you for a step. Where are you with this? So we didn't check on this quadruple too. Let's check on this set of twos. Okay, so we're both single, or the situation's ripe if there's no other person. I can't say that because we have a lot of energy here saying there's another person. But the situation is ripe for the picking. There's been a collapse on the other side. Now we might be feeling or mourning or needing to accept defeat or needing to face our disappointment, because that Five of Cups is looking squarely at action to be taken. So I want to know what this King of Wands is with the Five of Wands, because that's wanting to compete or to contest or something of that nature. Yeah, so it seems here like there's some strategic moves to make here, moving in secret military or an operator, some kind of Belvedere. There's a foresight here. And the foresight is some type of discovery. It's not just pensiero, thinking, processing, ruminating. This is a discovery. Letterato, artiste. It's somebody knows what's up. We also have a king and queen of wands, so that's the couple. With the two of cups here and the lovers, that there's a union here. And it might be prophesized as well. So there's a message from the other side. Somebody's trying to come back. Knight of Wands. Or there's going to be another union or event or something like that. So, something's approaching, and I'm not getting this like it's on the way. I'm getting like make the choice and it'll manifest. That's really what I'm getting because there's something here very big to build. It feels like a family or a legacy and Ten of Pentacles, and all that needs to happen is for it to be gone after. I need to know what this Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune is, because that's yeah, you see, there's some kind of spiritual union coming, and we felt some kind of way about it. Melancholia. It felt like there were multiple disappointments or delays on the way to that. We might have even put this down, let it go, because what we're learning right now is to think out loud, to share what our intentions and feelings are, to kind of go after what we want, but not in the sense of chasing, but in the sense of aligning our life for those things, believing that they're coming, believing that they're manifesting. When the reading starts out with the King of Wands, it literally means the world is your oyster. But then we have to process all this thinking, stinking thinking. Five of Pentacles. We got to get up out of our mind. We got to get up out of our way. Five of Swords is also self-interest. The Seven of Swords is a lone wolf. So I feel like we've extracted or withdrawn our energy, and a pair of sevens is an alert in some kind of way. And there's all this love is hidden here, but this reading is talking about understanding our thoughts, understanding our gifts, understanding our skills, understanding what comes across our path, what comes across our space. That's kind of what this this part of the month is about when the moon is moving through the third house in Virgo. It's saying change the way you look at things. If you want things to change, for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. That's true, but also when you change the way you look at things, you change the way you look at things. When you change the way you look at things, the things you're looking at change. So there's it's almost like some kind of unlocking mechanism or cheat code, which we don't have to do anything other than have a higher vibration or a higher or a shift in perspective here. But the hangman's not here. It's literally something's being restored, but again, it's from us learning more about ourselves, learning more about how we get around, how we get down, who we are, what we're about. It's more about, I don't want to say like, okay, I'm getting it as I'm trying to negate it. This feels like through being self-oriented, self-guided, self-directed, self-possessed. Is about not self-obsessed, self-possessed. Through being self-possessed, we discover this thing around us that we're missing, which is union. And it's not through going around head on a swivel looking around for union. It's through getting through the mechanisms and the processes and the lessons and the trials and the tribulations of being okay with ourselves. We find this thing that's right around us, and it is a restoration. Star card with the Wheel of Fortune is timeline restoration. Judgment card with the Wheel of Fortune is prophecy. So I'm looking at this prophecy right now, and it is union. Casa, stanza, emaneo. So something matures. It it gets to the end of the line, and it can't progress anymore without changing, typically towards a decline. So something is here, period. Or there's some kind of we've spent enough time, we should have some kind of idea or thought or opinion about it. La vecchia signora. Then we have stanza, casa with emaneo. So that means that we've spent enough time alone. Our intuition or our higher self should have told us something. We also have access into something. We're able to peer deep into something. We're able to see behind the curtain. I want to check on this timeline restoration. Wheel of Fortune and the Star card, please. Yeah, something's being put to bed because something that heals. something that provides a solution that we didn't even know we were needing. Because what's happening here is we're putting faith towards a bigger, brighter, better future. We might have put ourselves back together after collapse or some kind of disappointment or some type of series of unfortunate events. Because honestly, we're hopeful, even though we know we're going to go out there and deal with a little bit of heartache. We still have to carry something with us that we need to put down. We are carrying some type of longing with us where we know we have to kind of put it down. We're going to have a cycle of false hope or um, misconnections or false start. I didn't mean false hopes, dashed hopes, false starts, misconnections. It's almost like we're preparing to go on a dating spree or put in a bunch of applications and only a couple of them even get a second interview. That kind of thing where we know we're going to be rejected or we know we're going to be disappointed. We don't have to whittle through a bunch of opportunities where, again, dashed hopes. But it's actually saying once we do that, from a perspective of we're fine and okay within ourselves, that actually isn't going to happen. Something that we put down or something that we passed by or something that was a misconnection gets restored. Because it says on one or both of our ends, we're in despair. There's distress around this. And a message is going to come through from something that we weren't able to easily discern. Falsita. It wasn't as it looked. Whatever is public projection, whatever the public face of it, it was untrue, unclear, uncertain. It wasn't like that. In fact, it was mutual disappointment. But that's because there's love here. There's love here. It's saying amante infanchula, new love, budding love. And the way that it ended up like that wasn't because of malice or deceit or whatever. It was because of Fanchula. It was lacking experience. And then we have Bambino. There is a lot to keep building. There's a lot more on the way. And also, there's a lot of potentiality here. All we need is to get the message. And the message is love, amante. So I want to know what this dispelling of illusion or the gas, the fog lifting, Seven of Cups, Death card here. Could we also have a Scorpio moon with the Queen of Cups and the Death card? It can be a Leo rising, but when the spell lifts, actually it means that our heart, alegría al is the joy of the heart. It's like a very joyful event. And then, okay, this medicine that we're missing comes in. Fortuna here with Dottore, that's we luck into. Yeah, and the situation, whatever we thought, we might have been a little jaded because the situation turns on its head suddenly out of the blue. So it's talking here about some kind of like failure to communicate, or it's not failure to communicate, it's like a not noticing the sign, the signals were misperceived. And there is some kind of need to defend or something like that. And there is something happening in about a week, a very fortunate event in about a week that's been already planned out. Yeah, so something, like I said, very fortunate. This is Jules. Yeah, okay. So somebody made a discovery. They made a discovery. And I think it's the other side feels bad that we're distressing. And maybe we haven't been saying we're distressing. They might actually offer up an explanation or apology or something like that. And it might not come through the form of a person. It could be the situation because the message is coming through. Here, a message is coming through here. And this is us, the Fanchula here. We're getting a proposal or an offer or something. Yeah, so it's been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. I want to say a quick prayer for all those still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confusion, lost in the sea. We have another card, by the way. Lost in the seas of time, trapped in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, unconditional, loving, universal oneness. Hanapana, we love you. We're sorry. Please forgive us. Thank you. We ask that our steps be ordered, our path be illuminated, and that we find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. May we be well, may we be happy, may we be at peace, may we receive everything we ever wanted, starting with what we deserve. For the King and Queen of Wands, let's go ahead and pull a Pop of Love Oracle card by Vibe About It Tarot. They're over at Etsy. We have a petition from the other side. It was a maybe later, not a no, and they were unhealed, unawakened at the time. Then the narrative is, I'm fearful of letting go with what I have and what I know. What you're asking me is impossible, and it makes me feel extremely uncomfortable. Okay. Even with the distance, I know we are never truly apart. We had an instant connection that we can never match. I'll travel the world to get closer to you. That was a petition that came out from the other side because it came face down. Whatever experience we had completely blew the lid off the situation. We have two very dramatic bombastica. Bombastica is what I'm hearing. We had two very, you see, both of those are incendiary. We experienced so many similar things in our life. I always thought I was the only one to have had these experiences. I take comfort in knowing that you truly understand me. I feel my life is falling apart and being pulled apart. No matter what I try to build, things keep crumbling all around me. I wish you were here to help. You were the only thing solid in my life. And then guess what? Virgo is here. So Virgo energy is meticulous, consistent, realistic, persuasive, practical, analytical, and helpful. So something's coming because we are rebuilding. And I think it's being reclaimed or restored. It's not even a new thing. We have no pages here and two sevens. So we should be on alert to review the thoughts that we had before, because we had multiple experiences that we're finally mature enough to discern, and we might need to revisit them to know, because we were under some type of illusion, Seven of Cups illusion, drama, falseness, deceived by appearances, extreme emotions, idolizing a situation. Now we have courage here, willingness to confront agony, pain, danger, uncertainty, or intimidation, strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Take good care. See you in the next one, my dear. Smash that like button. Bye bye.